Hi, this is Steve Nunley, your favorite advertising guy from Smarter Advertising. This is a tutorial for our new clients who've recently signed up. We've started doing your Google AdWords. For those of you who would like to actually go and inspect what we're doing, we love to be transparent. We know there's so many companies out there that won't give you the passwords, that won't explain, that try to talk over your head. It's not necessary that you go in and do this. If you feel it's a waste of your time, great, at least you know it's there. But for those of you who are truly curious and want to verify what we're doing, I'm going to try to make it very easy for you. What you're looking at is Google AdWords. I've sent you over a link from Google, which you can use to go in and to sign into your Google AdWords account at ads.google.com is where you sign in. You put your passwords in there, or actually your Google log, just log in using your regular Google login, whatever you accepted a link from us in. When you get there, a screen like this will pop up. There's probably a few of you that are using the cell phone version of Google Ads. I can't lay all that out for you on my screen. It'd just be too hard to try to create a duplicate video. I'm not a big user of the cell phone one anyway. Manage a couple hundred of these accounts on a cell phone, it'd be pretty much impossible. But the information is the same, it's just laid out differently. So when you first get here, you may or may not see this gray bar on the left. There's just a little tab down here. You can click it. You may or may not see all these in here. By the way, this is your campaigns. This up here is the type of campaigns you have, in which case it's saying all campaigns. That basically means you're in expert mode. We do not use display advertising. We don't use the smart advertising. From our end, those are just ways to waste your money. So when you click this, all campaigns, you'll see your campaigns down here. If you don't, come up here and tell it what to display. For example, if your ads are paused, you may have to show all to unpause them. But for now, what we're using is all but removed. That basically means everything that's running now. Now, for junk companies, there'll be one set of campaigns, for cleaning companies another, dentists, a third. But the idea is the same. We've broken the information down into subgroups. In the instance of junk companies, we go in and everything in this group includes the word junk in the search. These are our small, low-dollar clicks for jobs that might be small. It could be big, but they're the smaller end of the spectrum. Furniture actually contains a lot more than furniture. Above ground pools, contractor debris, deck removal, several different types of items, but these are medium priced clicks and the medium sized jobs. In here, cleanouts is the biggest jobs and the most expensive. So whether you're a mortgage broker or whether you're a dentist, doctor, lawyer, we will break these all out. And then branding is where you're going to show up for your own company name. Those clicks generally run about $1. The reason you want to do that is if your competition is trying to show up above you, we can, by putting this up here at $1, we can force them to pay like 10 times that amount if they're showing up for your name. So these are campaigns over here. This is your entire account. These are your campaigns. Over here is even smaller. Within are called ad groups. Account, campaigns, ad groups. I'm going to go in and just start walking you through some of these, but really the biggest one, the one you really, if you're really interested, is to come down here, hit all campaigns, and then keywords. This is showing the phrases we're targeting. Please do not change these. If you want to change them, talk to us. Please do not change the bids. If there's two of us working on here, it'd be like two kids playing with an Etch-a-Sketch in the dark. Neither one can see what the other's doing. What you get is a big mess. Search words are the phrases we targeted. And by the way, as you go through these, you can see the columns in here. You may want to go in and adjust your columns like what I have. I'll show you how in a minute. The columns that Google uses are actually designed in a little bit to confuse you. Advertising companies just don't want you to know how your money is spent. They're the opposite of what we do. So they're going to go in and talk all over this stuff about conversions and stuff, but It's too much for this video, but let's just say that's the wrong path. What you do want to do though is come down here now. We looked at search keywords. Let's go to search terms. These are the phrases that people typed immediately prior to clicking your ad. And you go in here and set a date range. Let's say last 7 days. Sorry, this guy was on vacation this month. Let's do last month. You could go in here, put it all in alphabetical order. And the idea here is looking at each phrase. Would this be a buyer or a non-buyer? Ashland junk removal. This business owner is located close to Ashland. They go there. Do they take away broken furniture? Absolutely. Debris removal? Yes. Now, they don't do dumpsters. And so what I do, and if you find some of these, understand there are always going to be new ones coming in. We can't predict the future on what people are going to type. We try to do that. We build giant lists of what we call negative keywords. We build those out, and once you put them there, the ads can never show up for that word again. But somebody's always going to find a new word to use in combination. So what we're doing is we're copying them. I'm taking them up here to tools, negative keywords. I'm taking them in here. I paste it in here. And I'm going to put in dump, dumps, dumpster, dumpsters, dumping. Try to get every variation of that. I save that. The ad can no longer show up for any phrase that has any of those words in there. But again, please don't block those. Feel there's one that's just really important to you, let us know. Like if you see something out there that comes in the wrong one. Like here's another one, junk collectors. I copy and I paste it into that list. It's blocked. What we're really looking here isn't so much perfection, it's to improve. For example, in here I saw junk tire removal. So we block the word tire. And this is one of the reasons why when you start out doing Google Ads, it doesn't run as good as it does later on. What you're doing the first day is creating a filter. What you're doing every day after that is making the filter better and better. Now let me go in and show you how to adjust the columns so you can see what I'm seeing. I'm over here on search terms. I'm hitting columns. I hit modify columns. And first, you can move items in sequence up here and it will change where they are on the main screen. You can go in and check or uncheck boxes, and if you look when I check this, you can see words appearing and disappearing on the list. And when you're done, just hit apply. When you change it on your screen, it does not affect what I or my staff see on our screens. It's only a view for you. So when we go in here, and I'm going to go back in here to search keywords, and we're looking at in here is we targeted the words removal and junk. It can be junk removal, removal junk. It can put those words in any sequence, added city names, but both of them are required. In the month of July, there were 19 clicks for that. The average cost was $18 each. Total cost, this is your click-through rate. So let's talk about a couple of these terms up here. Average CPC, that is your average cost per click. Over here, it's maximum cost per click. That is the maximum we're bidding. That doesn't mean let's go back in and we're talking about your max cost per click. This is the amount that we're bidding. It does not mean that we're going to spend that much. We're saying we'll spend up to that much, where they click the link in your advertisement, come to the website. Now you'll see that one or two of these, the average cost is actually higher than that. Well, there's a second item here. It's what if somebody is on a mobile phone and clicks the phone number in your ad? We put a multiplier on that, and the reason being is, let's say it takes 3 or 4 clicks to get somebody a website. Let's pretend they were 20 each. It's $60 to $80 to get the phone to ring. But if I can get the phone to ring for $23, that's a deal, because it only took one. One of the nice things too is when we bid this phone number up, some people will see the phone number, some of them will manually dial the phone number without ever clicking on the ad, so you get them for free. So phone calls can look expensive, but oftentimes, as far as your cost per sale, they're much cheaper. Where these phone numbers are in here is called advanced bid adjustment. And as you can see in here, in this campaign for junk removal, I've gone in and set the bid adjustment 100%. So the bid was $20, but I've said, Google, you can raise that by 100%. So we're willing to go up to $40 for a phone call. And here you see that some of these, they were averaging $38. However, if you're good at what you do, 90% of those phone calls are going to convert to sales. $38 per phone call is actually cheaper than 3 clicks at 20 or 4 clicks at 20. And one more thing to keep in mind, for every person who clicked that phone number with their mobile and dialed, there's probably another one who wrote the phone number down, who manually dialed it. So that's what you paid for this phone call, which was a click on the phone number in the ad. But the actual phone calls, when you average them out, are much cheaper. They're actually a really good deal. Again, don't change the bids in here, but I wanted to give you an idea how all this works. So really, the main thing in grading a company like ours or any of the other companies out there, everything else is already set up and doesn't change. This is where we go in and we look for problems. If we see words that don't line up, they're either a non-buyer phrase or look like cheap or do-it-yourselfers, we go in and block those. Let's talk a minute about your budget. I'm going up here to the top, hitting all campaigns, coming down here, hitting campaigns. In this case, there are 4 campaigns. Always set up the branding on its own separate small budget per day. Those are people who are looking for your company by name, so we keep that separate. On your other campaigns, we can group them together in what is called shared, or we can put them in individuals. It just depends on the preferences and what type of business you're in. Well, let's say that you're just overloaded. Well, you can come in here and you can pause everything and pause it for a day or two, or you go on vacation. You can pause it as long as you need. Or let's say you're getting a little too busy, and you can come in here and just lower this budget a little. On the other hand, let's say you've got a lot of employees standing around with nothing to do, or you just hired some new, or you just bought more equipment for these people in the junk business, they bought more trucks or whatever. You can go in here and increase the budget. This budget is on a daily basis. And here's an important thing to know. If you don't spend all the money today, Google saves it and they can add that to tomorrow's budget. And literally they could go out 2 or 3 days on this. So maybe a few days that are slow, like Saturday and Sunday, you don't spend it all. On Monday, Google will go in and spend more. But in the long run, it averages out to whatever number you've got in here. Other than that, there's not really a lot that the average person needs to go in and look at. I mean, sure, you can go in here and look at the change history and see if we're actually doing anything. But when you look at this in the month of July, 423 changes, we're doing our job. Our software is doing its job. So feel free to reach out to me if you got any questions. And I hope that you love the transparency, that you enjoy being involved in this, the level of respect we're giving you by bringing you right into this instead of hiding stuff like some of our competitors. Have a wonderful day. Thank you. Bye-bye.